Cold Pursuit.
Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Hat, and today we're going over Cold Pursuit. Yes, I do know that there is a current, bad publicity going on around with this movie because of what Liam Neeson said. Don't go see it, don't support Liam Neeson. I went to this movie to support film, alright? Yes, I know Liam Neeson said something bad, but not everybody knows that. This movie, despite what's going on right now with Liam Neeson and what he said, this movie was packed. So, this movie's still making money. I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but I'll say it anyways, just in case there's a troll out there. No, I do not support what Liam Neeson said. I do not support it just because I saw this movie, alright? Just getting that out there. And weirdly enough, before that shit came out, I had already planned this, and that is Liam Neeson month. That's right. I don't care what he said, we're going over my favorite Liam Neeson movies, and if you don't like that, fuck you. Alright, let's talk about Cold Pursuit. Just saw it. Alright, what do I think about it? Well, before we do that, let's talk about the synopsis. What is this movie about? This movie is about a guy named Nels, and he just plows roads for a living, but then one day his son ends up dead from a heroin overdose, and he wants to take out those responsible because he knows that his son was not a druggie. It's your typical action revenge movie, but is it really? No. That is the biggest problem I have with this movie, was because this movie set the wrong expectations going in, alright? When you watch the trailers for this movie, and I saw them every month for the past like 5 months, because I see movies regularly, alright? So I see this trailer a lot, and it sells it as an action film. This movie is the opposite of an action movie, alright? It's not. There is some action in it, yes. But would I call this an action movie? No. If I bought this movie, I would stick it right in my comedy section. This movie felt like a PG-13 Marvel movie. It had Marvel comedy in it that just ruined and sliced through any tension or any emotion whatsoever. It's like, no, don't feel sad. Keep laughing. 90% of the jokes in this movie do not land, and it just takes me out of the moment, and there's no seriousness at all. There's no gravitas. You don't worry for Liam Neeson's life once in this movie. You just know he's gonna make it. Anytime there's like a serious scene in this movie, like when the son's dead and he's like looking at the body, they make that scene comedic. When Liam Neeson wants to take his own life, they make that scene slightly comedic. At this point, with this movie especially, it's almost like Liam Neeson's just collecting checks at this point in his career. He's like, oh, script, whatever, just put me in it. Am I getting revenge on somebody? Am I kicking a little bit of ass? Sure, I'll do it. This is him just phoning it in. Like, he didn't actually perform, there's like no emotion from him. He's just a fucking caricature cardboard cutout. Liam Neeson, talking like Liam Neeson. He does nothing to show like his range, there's no emotion from him. Even when his son's dead, he kind of just stares at the body. It's like, my son was not a druggie. There's no emotion. The son dies at the beginning of the movie. It like just starts real quick, and the son dies, and we didn't even get to know that character. There's no connection between the son and the father, and yes, that's like explored later. The mom's upset, like, you didn't know our son. You didn't communicate with him well. I'm leaving you. It's like, well, yeah, but no, they hunted together. They established that they hunt together, and that's it. I think the son has one line in this movie at the very beginning before he dies. Am I supposed to care for that character? I don't. I didn't see any connection between that character and the father, or that character and the mother, but yet the mother's real sad, and the Liam Neeson, like I said, no emotion. The wife in this movie is the biggest throwaway character I've ever seen since Ray in Halloween 2018. The character could have been taken out of this movie completely, and it would have been the same movie, but better, trimmed down some. Liam Neeson could have been a single father, and it would have made more sense. She serves no purpose in this movie, and she leaves Liam Neeson a empty card when she leaves him, because I guess they just don't communicate well no more. The son's dead. It happens to most families. When someone dies in your family, that family just tears apart naturally. I don't know why, it just happens. But she leaves him a note that has nothing in it. It's just blank, saying, you basically just like a metaphor, like, you didn't talk to me lately, you didn't talk to your son enough, so therefore, just blank, metaphorical. But the way I interpret it is that her character was such nothing that her card she left was nothing. And even when you get to the end of this movie, there's no resolution with that character. Does she come back to Liam? Does Liam get back to her? Does he have any arc? Does any character in this movie have an arc? No. Unless you count him going from wanting to commit suicide to just wanting revenge, that's not really an arc. I hate when there's movies like this where there's like these well-established like bad guys and drug lords, and the town kind of knows where they are located, and they just don't arrest them. It's like, really? Like, you just know, like, this chick knows everything about Viking all of a sudden. They know where he's at, I think, but they just don't arrest him. Just go arrest him. You know who he is. Go get him. This is a movie where you have to suspend your belief because Liam Neeson is able to just go into shops that are in downtown, start a small gunfire fight, No cops are called. He just kills somebody, drags the body out of there, doesn't get caught, kills 3 or 4 people, never gets caught. And that's another thing in this movie. Liam Neeson doesn't get hurt once in this movie. He doesn't get punched, he doesn't get kicked, he doesn't get shot. He kills these people like they're fucking half his size, and he's like 6'4", so they really are. Nobody poses as a threat to Liam Neeson, ever. It's just like, there's no gravitas, like I said. It's just like, you're like, yep, he's gonna kick their ass, and there's nothing to establish that he is capable of kicking ass. He's just your everyday guy. But all of a sudden, he's Rambo now. Usually, action movies, they always have that one bad guy who's like the formidable foe, who's actually going to be able to kick the protagonist's ass at least a little bit and make it seem like they're going to win, but then they don't. But that's not in this movie at all. The main guy responsible for killing Liam Neeson's son is like the first one he gets, and then he wants to go for the bigger fish towards the end, but he doesn't end up killing that guy, someone else does. Alright, so there's like this like C storyline with like these 2 cops. You got this woman cop, this man cop. The man cop is just like your chillaxed cop who just doesn't really give a shit about the law. He's just like, yeah, whatever, break the law, I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna sit at my desk. The other woman, she's kind of like new, she wants to like, she's very like, you know, pro-law, and you know, even if you're just breaking a little thing, she's like, I'm gonna go write them a ticket. You know, she's that cop. You know, just every law cannot be broken. She is like so into this like case. She like finds out there's like a turf war going on. She wants to like stop it. She's like all excited. She's like, there's a turf war going on. Let's go solve it. Let's stop it. Let's do something. She does nothing by the end of this movie. And right, there's even one scene where she goes to Liam Neeson to give him like some information. And it's information that Liam Neeson already knows. That's all we got from that character. She did nothing. So everything involving that character and that other cop was just wasted, filled time to make this movie longer. It's almost 2 hours long. It does not need to be that long. The main bad guy in this movie, he's not a believable bad guy. He's not intimidating, but I can see why they chose that, because they're going this comedic route. It would be weird to have an actual menacing bad guy. It wouldn't fit this weird-ass tone that this movie has. It's tonally deaf. Sometimes I feel like they're trying to be serious, but then it just gets cut back to comedy. But this main bad guy, he has this son who hates his dad, kind of, I guess. I don't really understand their relationship at all. It's not really explored that much. But the dad wants the son to be on a strict diet, so therefore I guess that's the reason why the son ends up getting kidnapped by Liam Neeson willy-nilly. Just like, he just walks into Liam Neeson's van. It's like, I'll go in your van, stranger. I believe your story. I don't recognize you, but I'm going to enter your van because I'm a fucking idiot. Granted, the kid's like 9, 10 years old, but still. And then the kid ends up getting like Stockholm Syndrome. He just loves Liam Neeson because I guess his dad's that big of a piece of shit, and I believe it. Yeah, whatever. And I guess my final negative will be that there's really not that much action in this movie, alright? A few people get killed by Liam Neeson, but is there like a bunch of firefights or anything? No. Is there that much action? No, it's just a bunch of jokes. This movie is like 80 to 90% comedy and 10 to 20% action. So if you want to enjoy this movie at all, go into it as a comedy film. Do not go into it as a revenge action movie. Yes, there's revenge, but it is not action. It is comedy. Alright, the little things I did like about this movie is the revenge aspect of it. Alright, I'm a sucker for those guilty pleasure revenge movies. I love John Wick 2, all those Rambo movies, some revenge in it. I love this little revenge aspect, but like I said, it's you forget about the revenge. You literally forget about Liam Neeson's like story and drive, because there's just all this comedy, all this other weird shit going on that you start to forget about Liam Neeson. The first 1/3 of this movie is like maybe the most fun, or like the least comedic, or like the least bad comedic. You know, like there's still comedy in that first third, but it's not as bad as the other 2/3. I enjoy the little title cards we get in this movie. Every time a character dies, they show like a title card that shows the name of that person who died. And sometimes it's used for comedic effect later on, but at the beginning it's kind of neat. Like, oh, it's just showing the people who died. And there was one Cleveland Browns joke in this movie that actually made me laugh. And that was the only joke that made me laugh in this movie. I guess it just kind of is close to me because I live in Ohio, and the joke landed for me. So yeah. Overall, this movie was just kind of like guilty pleasure fun. This movie is a comedy, but I wish I went into it knowing that. This movie's trailer does not market it as that. It markets it as like a Taken, Liam Neeson, gonna kick some ass, get revenge, and I was not expecting what I got. But because of that, a little guilty pleasure fun in this movie, the comedy, maybe some people will enjoy it. So therefore, I guess I'll say, when it comes to Cold Pursuit, maybe you should just go get this at Redbox. I wouldn't see it at theaters. I wouldn't even see it cheap price. I don't even think this is worth a matinee. It's just, get it cheap, alright? So just save your money. This movie's really not that good. But those are my thoughts on Cold Pursuit. Have you seen this movie yet? Did you go into it with the wrong expectations? Just do not go into this movie thinking it's action. It's comedy. Alright, just flat out comedy. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you want to support this video, you can do so by hitting this like button. And please do consider subscribing by clicking on my cartoon face in 5 seconds over here to see more content. And until next time, I'll read you.